Supriya Bansal is a dedicated finance professional with a strong track record and ability to deal with ambiguity and change at all levels. In a short span of time, she has helped organizations transform by adapting business and digital process automation with multiple projects across supply chain management, engineering, legal, finance, manufacturing, and also human resources. She is a chartered accountant from India and a chartered management accountant CMA from UK, along with an ACCA diploma in IFRS with over 18 years of rich experience of working across industries in IT, healthcare, agricultural research organizations, IT and IT enabled services, and geographies across Europe, Africa, UK, US, and also India. And she's a seasoned, pragmatic, roll up sleeves professional when it comes to arriving at a solution for a problem at hand. Her humble confidence and approachable nature makes colleagues and peers look upon her in times of advice and need. And as we prepare to delve into our conversation on the topic at hand, embracing change during digital transformation, here's an exciting twist. First, let us tickle the brain of our guest. So, Supriya, get ready for a rapid fire round of random words, and I'll mention a few. Would love to hear the first thing that comes to your mind in response without thinking much. Are you ready for it?
Yes, Naveen.
Okay, let's dive in. And here comes my first word, change.
Change is the only constant.
Okay. Invention.
We'll not survive.
Future.
Is in our hands.
Book.
You cannot avoid.
Movie.
I love watching movies.
What's your favorite one?
Titanic.
Food.
I'm a foodie.
Place.
Jaipur.
Transformation.
It's in my blood.
Planet.
Earth.
Last one is finance.
I breathe finance.
Transformation is in your blood and you're breathing finance. Wonderful. So, Supriya, thanks for participating in the first rapid fire round so sportively. Really appreciate it. And folks, welcome to the Guiding Voice podcast series, where we embark on transformative conversations for a better future. And I'm your host, Naveen Samala, dedicated to making the world a better place through valuable discussions that add value not only to your life, but also to your career. Thank you so much for tuning in. And Supriya, hearty welcome to the Guiding Voice.
Thanks, Naveen, for having me here. Thanks for your time.
And thank you for being part of our journey. Pleasure to have you. Let's get started. Maybe we'll start with your career journey. Probably you can shed some light into key insights into your journey and experiences in helping organizations navigate this digital transformation, especially in the industries that you have worked like IT, agriculture, and also healthcare research.
Thank you, Naveen. So I have been in the industry for the past 25 years. I have been in the corporate space, heading finance functions as controllers and finance heads in various organizations. As I drilled into my journey of organizations, I always felt, to challenge the status quo. Because if you do not challenge the status quo, you are then, behind the trail compared to what others are doing in the market. I always believed in benchmarking where we are compared to what others are, in the market. And that is where you can challenge yourself, you can challenge the people around you, and you can bring positive environment to your organization. In doing so, and in having an in-depth experience of my corporate journey, I have now dwelt into entrepreneurship, where I advise corporates on how to do digital transformation in and out. Now, the only thing, as I believe, and also I said in my rapid fire, change is the only constant factor, and we all have to embrace change. So, while I have an immense experience of different industries, the only thing I have seen always is, looking at how you could embrace change and how you could make people around you to, digitally make a digital savvy world for you. So, organizations also where I worked, it was not easy and straightforward many times. You had to deal with multiple people, multiple stakeholders, especially when you're dealing with MNCs and this. But I have dwelled my part. I have found a navigation part and, came up through all those hurdles. So happy to share my experience here today on this podcast. and would really like to inspire the people around who can embrace this change.
Nice. And let's move forward. I'm also curious to understand your success mantra, as in the top three things that have contributed to your professional success so far.
Yes, Naveen. So one is you have to be strongly determined and motivated, because there are many people who will pull you down. It is very very easy to fumble and fall down, but there is where your whole inclination of what you want to do, the big purpose in life, has to always be in your front of your vision and in front of your eyes. Secondly, all these stakeholders in the organizations are very very key stakeholders. You have to respect them, take everyone's opinion, bring them as part of your team, but do as you feel is right. And there is where possibly it's very important to manage your stakeholders. So stakeholders management is very very important in any journey you do, whether it's digital transformation or in a career journey or any way which you do. I always believed in having a detailed project plan in anything which we do, and hitting those milestones and questioning yourself if you're not hitting those milestones as planned. So this is how I have that has contributed to my humble success, and yet lot to learn. I keep imbibing myself on learning more and more. But this is where I feel that you could make a difference.
So I see a lot of program management and also process management angle in your career. So which is like you are so much process focused, and especially the most important part that you have touched upon is the stakeholder management, which is essential in terms of setting the right expectations and making sure that we are dealing with those expectations from time to time. So that's so important. And on that note, let's move to the core of today's topic. And I was super thrilled when you said change management during digital transformation, because these are two important topics that are very much relevant in today's world, and change is something which is relevant always. Of course, digital transformation has been fast forwarded by COVID, and organizations have accelerated their digital transformation journey by adapting new technologies, new tools, and processes, right? So how do you approach the challenge of change management, and while focusing or while ensuring that teams embrace these changes effectively and efficiently? Because if people don't connect with our vision, I think the initiatives will not be successful. And how do you make sure that they are part of this particular change?
No, absolutely, Naveen. A very good point. Let me tell you, you many learned people would have told you, and you would have read in a lot of research. 93% of their organizations across the world want to digitize, and they know that if you do not go into digitization, they will be behind the learning curve, and they will be they will if they don't invent and they don't adopt, they are going to fall behind the train. But even now, even after that, only 23% of the projects of digital transformations are really successful. This gave me another inclination of really doing a survey and asking people, why do you think the digital transformation fails? And I had given them 4 5 options. One is budget constraints, one is multiple priorities, one is not understanding the technology, or whether you do not feel that it is not secured. And one option also I gave was change management. And I was thrilled to see that 60% of my survey and my respondents also responded that digital transformation fails due to change management. That gives me a lot of confidence into the research which is in the market, into my own research. And there is where this topic of change management is ultimately very very important to each one of us. There's already, I mean, the COVID has brought us lot of change fatigue. There's so much of things we have already like looking into the everyday of our lives. Apart from digital transformation, you have aggressive business plans, you have aggressive growth targets, your organization wants to do lot of things which you have not even anticipated. So already the employees in the organizations are already stressed. They're already stressed to a lot of change. Now, in top of this, you are bringing in digital transformation, which already is elevating their stress level, because now they have to take up something more. So if we are empathic to our people, if we are empathic to what they are going at, I think it is very, very important to understand at which level of cycle they are into the digital transformation.
Mm-hmm.
If they're already too much fatigue, if they're already tired of lot of change, introducing something more is, just going to increase their stress levels. So it is very important to keep our employees as a part of center stage and keeping them completely involved of how this change is going to do a positive impact to their lives, make them understand that how this transformation is going to ease up their work only, and how it is going to evolve them as individuals, because here they are going to get away of doing those repetitive tasks, those mundane tasks, which are anyway lot of boredom and of no value addition to them as individuals. How do you explain them everything in a very, very lucid manner is what an important factor of change management is. So what I see is, organization change impacts really each and every person in the organization.
Yeah.
And how do you recognize this early in the game? How do you embrace this early in the game is where the trick lies. If you involve your people at a very later stage in the whole journey, you have already, made your way to failure. So that is why, what I have been doing in the organizations wherever I have been working or I've been advising people is I've been advising them to, involve the key people, keep them involved, and always have them at the part of your key decision making. The different ways of change management and the different problems which come, which we have faced in a digital transformation journey. The few problems could be there is new technology. People do not know what technology they are going to adopt. So already they have stress level increasing. Some people do not have the right IT infrastructure, right? They would yet organizations today are moving from on-premise to cloud, right? So they are again, they do not know about what the change lies in front of them. There are a lot of pros and a lot of cons of going on cloud, and how do they embrace that change? Lot of reporting relationship change during change management, right?
Yeah.
Certain things you are doing in a routine way. Now you may feel that that function itself is not required because that function is going to get automated. There is a possibility of reporting relationship change that may come in part of change management. There are a lot of different processes. You'll have to do a process re-engineering because after digital transformation you have to do lot of process changes, and again people will have to adapt to that change, right? That is also a different way of change management. In all these internal processes, again what becomes a center stage which organizations should not forget is the customer experience. Customer is the king. Don't forget our customers. How will the customer experience this change? Any digital transformation, for example, if you're putting a new CRM, you're putting a new HR process, how do they anticipate this change? How do are they receptive this change? Is it making their life easier? Is also a very, very important factor of change management, because you do not want your sales team to feel isolated at the end of the day. You do not want your sales team to oh, what you have done, this and what, and that is the very reason stakeholder management becomes very important in the whole journey. So this is how I would advise organizations on why change management is important. These are the few facets of change, and these are very, very critical whenever you enroll yourself onto a digital transformation journey.
Yeah. So one thing that stuck to me is the communication part, and this reminds me of my GE days. Whenever there is an acquisition, or whenever there is a spin-off, or whenever there is some restructuring that happens, they used
Yeah,
to, I mean, leadership did a fantastic job of communicating to the employees firsthand before everybody else gets to know. And they made sure
absolutely.
that people are part of that change, and because of which the skin of people that work for GE, right, will be normally thick when it comes to change management, because they are already used to a lot of stuff. And they finally, eventually, like after quitting GE, I joined a couple of organizations wherein some sort of org changes were announced and people get into panic mode and they come and ask me, hey, how come you're so cool? I said, I've seen more than 30, 40 different transformations happen in my journey. And I know what happens. We have to just put our hands down and start contributing, nothing else. Right. And be part of that change, and any decision that is taken, it has a reason. Right. So let us be part of the early adopters so that we support the management and help them navigate through that particular transformation. Yeah, very well said. I think you have covered a lot of important points. And Supriya, let's move ahead to my next one. Like in your 18 plus years of experience, right? So, what are some common challenges you have observed wherein organizations face during the digital transformation, and also how have you helped them overcome these obstacles?
Yeah, Naveen, what I have seen in a digital transformation journey, there has to be buy-in from top to down. There has to be buy-in at each and every level in the organization. And someone has to be the driving force of making this happen.
Yeah.
If you give someone an extended responsibility beyond their core job, which anyway he's thinking, anyway he is thinking, and then this becomes an additional thing to do, I don't think it's going to be successful. Because you already have 110 things on your plate. And a digital transformation is, I would say, in one project is actually 200 things to do. You cannot, have 110 plus 200 things done by a single individual.
Mm-hmm.
There is where, a focused attention, a focused core team who will concentrate on an end-to-end mapping, on an end-to-end project management becomes a very, very important aspect of a successful digital transformation. There is where we at, the business transformation team at ABA, what we try to do is, take the project management piece completely end to end and relieve the organizations from that burden of program management. So what we do is, not only understand the pain areas of an organization, not only look at the solutioning what the pain areas would do, but end to end handle the people who are involved into it, change their job descriptions to a certain extent later because of the transformation. There could be certain things they have to do in a different manner, change the way they work, and handhold them and do a complete change management end to end. So this is a very, very important factor of a successful digital transformation, which I would like to give my experience on.
Mm-hmm.
Because people are sometimes really resistant to change. There has been an old saying. Now, of course, people are slowly maturing, but yet they're not completely matured. Automation will come and it will take away my job. There was a fear earlier when basically we had robotic process automations coming up, RPAs coming up, where people felt my job will go.
Yeah.
But now, I people have understood that a fully blown automation process cannot take job away. They will just enhance your job more, make you a more learned person, and bring your value more to the organizations and to yourself and to the market you are serving. So this is where the common challenges which I really faced. How to make people understand that this is for your own good. Have the complete leadership buy-in right from top and to bottom. And I would not like to say that you need budgets. You cannot do digital transformation without budgets. I'm being very open here, but people concentrate on a lot of other things of marketing budgets. Then you want budgets on finance, budgets on audits. IT transformation also, you need to allocate budgets.
Yeah. Mm.
Or a simple thumb rule could be 4% of your revenue should be on IT transformation budget, so that any change you bring, it costs money, but it is for a longer term which will bring you the ROI.
Mm.
So there is where I would say that it has to be a important priority, not only in terms of a fad of doing digital transformation, but in essence you do it. Just because someone is doing it, you want to do is really wrong. See your organization, see your vision, see where you, as I said, benchmark yourself. Are you competitive enough to where what other organizations in your space are doing, and how you can evolve yourself, how can you innovate yourself, is what we need to constantly endeavor. And this is what we constantly advise our clients on, how you need to embark on this journey, how you need to have a more involved teams, how you have to, basically bring it into the culture of your organization. If and I can say that because
Yeah.
due to digital transformation, your business models may need a change. Your responsibilities will need a change. How for example, if it's a mid-sized organization, they would be, possibly working more on an entrepreneurial way of doing things. For them, a digital transformation journey is actually changing the entrepreneurial way to a corporate culture. How you guide them through that change and let them embrace this change. And you all need to understand this will not happen overnight. Today take a magic wand and tell that you want to change. It will not happen. It is a gradual process.
Yeah.
But you set in those expectations, you set in those trainings, you set in those milestones in your transformation journey, and things will happen. Is what what would be my opinion on how I have overcome obstacles during digital transformation.
Okay, so this brings me to my next one. Like, can you also share some examples of successful digital transformation projects where you have witnessed a significant positive impact on organizations, both in terms of efficiency as well as competitiveness?
Yes, Naveen, definitely. And being a finance veteran, let me bring up the finance examples first, and then I will also bring more examples. Any finance controller or a head of finance today would really be scared of month ends because we generally have elongated month ends, and there has been a requirement from our management of how you shorten the month end cycle, how you bring efficiency during month end. And I'm very proud that the organizations I have worked on, I have been able to significantly cut the month end cycle from 10 days to 5 days, and in certain organizations from 5 days to 3 days. How do you do that? Also as a woman on the ground, and in your senior leadership position, you also need to balance your work and life, right? And when I have to strive for the work life balance, I have to look at where I can look at inefficiencies in my own way of doing things and inefficiencies of my team, because I would not consider myself as a successful leader if my team is spending long hours trying to close books or trying to do anything which should not be done. There is where I rolled up my sleeves, I went inside, deep dived into what the way they do things, how do they do that. And we came up with a lot of ways of, really, is this the way you can do? Is there not another way of doing things? As questioning your own self, questioning the processes, questioning the legacies of doing things, and then come up with innovative ideas. Sitting with the IT team, sitting with them, explaining to them, how you could make this change, how you could achieve this purpose, developing those Python codes, developing those advanced macros, developing those frugal automations. Every time you do not need, high-end automations. You could do things in a very, very frugal manner, right? Sometimes a Six Sigma approach, works. You have been a Six Sigma veteran. You know yourself know how a Six Sigma approach simple works. Sometimes those tools. So adapting to the multiple tools available in the market, adapting to those things, and it's not like one size fit all. Whatever works for even a small process, adapt it, change it, implement it has been my mantra, right?
Yeah.
Also, in certain projects, very, very proud that I have been able to save, $500,000 for a company because of robotic process automations. How have we been able to cut our customer life cycles? How have we been able to, help how the production planning, the legal planning of how they're supposed to do things. It has been, a very, very important innovations which we have done. Also, in few of the corporate clients I'm currently working with, they have been doing a lot of things manually in terms of compliances. How do you have a one-stop shop of your compliance tracking mechanism? How do you have one-stop shop of giving you a dashboard like a traffic light signal of your yellow, green, and red, and telling you how well a company is perfectly compliant with all the regulations of the land, rather than doing it manually through Excel, through emails. is another important thing which I can advise corporates. So this is how I have been, changing those spaces, bringing them, making the corporation digital savvy slowly and gradually. Also, I've been working on data analytics, how you could, predict your forecasting. How could you, have a more better way of forecast based on your last 15 years of data? How do you do predictive analysis? How do you, say that how much spare parts will be required, for example, for your machines? How do you do inventory planning, a better forecasting, a better revenue planning? Has been the way I've been advising corporates lately, and they've been able to see a significant difference in terms of how they used to work and how they are working now. So those are the key success factors. I mean, I would like to highlight here, and really encourage people to look into this transformations, because otherwise we'll be too late in this journey.
Yeah. So if I may call it, I think it is a time of either transform or perish as an organization, right? So we are living in those times, and this has been incredible conversation so far, and it's now time to add some more excitement, Supriya. So let us dive into a series of intriguing rapid fire questions to spice up the episode further. And all I would do is I'd ask some interesting questions, and you can again answer them crisply, whatever comes to your mind first. Okay. Okay, all right. Here comes my first question. If you could have one gigantic billboard anywhere with anything on it, what would it say?
Challenge status quo, transform, accelerate. Don't worry, we are here to help.
Okay, a lot of things conquer with my thought process. This is the vocabulary which I speak day in and day out in my organization, and yeah, I conquer with you. And next one is, what is one thing that you were really bad at, and that you wish you were better at?
Hiding my emotions, Naveen.
Okay, and here comes the next one. Can you describe yourself in just one word?
Determined.
What is the favorite thing about living in the 21st century?
Globalization.
And if you could have any superpower, what would it be and why?
Reading customers' minds.
Interesting. And here comes the last one for rapid fire. What is one electronic gadget or a fantasy gadget that you'd like to see or invent yourself?
Mind reading gadgets.
So again, it goes back to this superpower. Okay, so let's flip back to the mainstream, Supriya. And that was an interesting rapid fire. And what will be your one piece of advice to those aspiring to make big in their careers and excel in their life?
Yes, Naveen. I think it's a very, very important point to bring upon, based on my experience. Sometimes, and I also have a teenager daughter. So just to, so I can relate to the young lot very, very well. One thing I want to say is, I know today's generation is more technically savvy. They are more aware of what things are happening in the market. But what I would suggest is, do not be overconfident, and you have to be proud of yourself, but you do not have to be, overconfident. You have to be you should have a humble confidence. Second is, do not listen to your seniors, listen to what they have to say, because they carry a wealth of experience. They have seen the world more than what you have seen, right? So that is where I would say. And secondly, what I would like to say is that sometimes you want to grow at a faster pace. That is good. You should go at a faster pace, but it is always good to be to your ground. Touch your roots. Go through the things, and do not always want to aspire for doing only the big stuff. Every experience, whether it is an initial level of your career and or being at the top of the leadership, every experience counts. So sometimes I now have people where I've been hiring, they want to do only XYZ things. They do not want to touch upon the other things. They just want to do, for example, managerial positions. This is not how you will succeed. You have to, experience each and every level in the organizations, right?
Yeah.
Or a successful CEO is the one who knows how his shop floor works.
Yeah.
A successful CEO is one who knows how his finance team works, how his marketing team functions. Otherwise, you are, alone in the top. You do not want to be alone in the top. So understand and experience each and every function in your organization. That is what I would advise, where you could excel in your careers.
That's a
Is my
powerful advice indeed, because I've seen many youngsters also. They're chasing behind fancy titles and they don't want to really get their hands dirty and directly start supervising. And if you don't know
yes.
how work is getting done or how work has to be done, how can you supervise somebody who is doing that work? Yeah, I think that's a good one. And let's before I let you go, what's your experience being hosted on the Guiding Voice platform?
Oh, Naveen, it has been, absolutely professional, I should say. It has been absolutely methodical and very, very responsive, is what I would say. And you are doing a noble cause, Naveen. And I wish you and your team a lot of success in this whole journey. Whatever little 2 cents I could contribute, I'm really, really glad that, if it makes a difference in someone's life, really, really happy to be on the channel. Thank you. Thanks a lot, Naveen, for all
Yeah.
this.
Pleasure to have you, and thank you for all the kind words, Supriya, and really appreciate it. And looking forward to hosting you again on the Guiding Voice or any other language podcast. And thank you so much once again for sharing your insights, and thank you for spending the valuable time with us.
My pleasure, Naveen.
Friends, that was our episode with Supriya Bansal. And before we jump into the fun trivia section, we have a quick request. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our podcast, and subscribing keeps you updated on new episodes. And if you have enjoyed this episode and found the conversation relevant and useful, please share it with at least three of your friends or colleagues or family members who would also like the Guiding Voice. Spread the knowledge and help others grow like you, and your support means a lot. It helps us create more content for you and our community. Thank you for your support in advance, and let's learn together on this journey. Now, let's hop into the trivia segment of today's episode. Today, we had a wonderful conversation with Supriya on change management during digital transformation. I thought I would present you a few facts related to digital transformation. And first one is related to digital transformation spending. According to research by IDC, global spending on digital transformation was projected to reach $2.3 trillion in this year. And this statistic actually highlights the significant financial investment in digital transformation initiatives. And with regard to the challenge, in a survey conducted by Deloitte, 73% of the respondents said that the lack of digital skills and experience was a significant challenge in their digital transformation efforts. And this also underscores the importance of addressing the skills gap in successful digital transformation. And third one is about customer experience focus, which was resonated in our conversation with Supriya. Supriya has also insisted that we need to provide or offer great customer experience while this digital transformation is taking place. And many organizations have prioritized improving the customer experience as part of their digital transformation efforts. And as per a report by PricewaterhouseCoopers, PwC survey, and it is found that 73% of the consumers considered a positive experience with a brand to be a crucial factor. And this statistic actually emphasizes the customer centric approach in digital transformation strategies. That's all from my side. And in case if you have come across any great success stories related to digital transformation and how change has been implemented within those organizations, feel free to share their stories with me, and I would be happy to talk about them in future episodes. And thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in and also being part of our awesome community. We would love to hear from you, and do not hesitate to share your ideas as well as feedback through our social media, or you can also email us at theguidingvoiceforyou@gmail.com, and let us create content that resonates with you. I'm your host Naveen Samala, a lifelong learner, and my goal is to have impactful conversations that improve your life and also your career. And folks, stay connected as we journey together. And until next time, take care, stay inspired, and remember, the future holds great things. The best is yet to come. And goodbye for now. See you all in the next episode with another fantastic guest.